master of his craft.
Lester Piggott, this master tactician.
It is almost impossible to capture the career of a sporting icon in just a few fleeting minutes, particularly when that career belonged to the greatest jockey of all time and spanned 6 glorious decades in the saddle.
And there's Lester, looking positively radiant.
Lester Keith Piggott rode his first winner at the age of 12 at Haydock in 1948. For the next 47 years, he would tower over the sport with a presence not seen before or since. More than 5,000 winners worldwide, 300 Group or Grade 1s, 30 British Classics, 11 times champion, and a place in the pantheon of global sporting superstars.
Once again, the judgment of Lester Piggott has paid dividends.
True romantics of the turf tend to recall not facts and figures, but the moments of magic that made the heart beat faster. And Lester produced more of those than any other rider in history.
Piggott begins his run on Never Say Die.
At the age of 18, he would win the first of his 9 derbies on 33-to-1 outsider Never Say Die.
What a superb ride by young Piggott, the 18-year-old boy wonder of the turf.
Big race success came with increasing regularity. Elite owners and trainers were desperate to have the Longfellow on their side. Lester and Sir Noel Merlis formed a formidable partnership that will rule the roost for the best part of a decade with the likes of Crepello and St Paddy. But what was to come when Piggott joined forces with Vincent O'Brien would leave an indelible mark on the very fabric of the sport and set the standard for those that followed in their footsteps even today. 4 Derby wins together with horses whose names resonate through the ages. In 1968, Sir Ivor's late surge from a seemingly hopeless position to storm past Connaught moved Lester to hail him the best he'd ever ridden. Roberto mirrored the strength and determination of his rider to edge home in front in 1972. 5 years later, one of the great stretch duels in classic history, Lester and the flashy chestnut The Minstrel, denying his great rival Willie Carson and Hopgrove. But perhaps the horse the duo will be best remembered for was the mighty Nijinsky.
I found on Nijinsky 51.
Striding across the 1970 summer season, Nijinsky and Lester was simply a majestic and irresistible combination.
Now Lester Piggott's bringing Nijinsky to make his challenge.
Winning the Triple Crown and King George. But all good things come to an end, and the partnership went their separate ways in 1980.
Thank you very much. Good old Lester Piggott.
Regardless, Leicester's success continued, including another Derby win on Jeff Ragg's Tenoso, a 2,000 guineas on Michael Stout's Shadid, and no one at Doncaster in September of 1984 will ever forget a simply masterful ride aboard Comanche Run in the St Leger.
Lester Piggott, the world's greatest jockey.
Retirement at the end of 1985 would have been a fine final chapter, but this story had 1 or 2 twists and turns still to come. A brief spell as a trainer ended when he was convicted of tax fraud, serving a year in prison before his release in 1988. And just when you thought Lester might be happy to stay out of the spotlight, he stunned the sporting world by announcing his comeback. Vincent O'Brien decided to renew racing's greatest partnership on the biggest of stages, the Breeders' Cup.
Royal Academy does it, and the living legend out of retirement, 54-year-old Lester Piggott.
There was also time for one more sip from the Classic Cup when Rodrigo de Triano won the 1992 Guineas before Lester officially retired 3 years later. There will never be another jockey, or indeed another sportsman quite like Lester Piggott. He is not the first or last to live life by his own rules. However, he rode a racehorse with a magical touch that we are grateful to have witnessed. But no, we will never see the likes of again.